Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are diving deep into the all-in-one workspace that's really changing the game for how people organize, well, their entire digital lives. We're talking about Notion and how you can use it to build what a lot of people call a second brain.
So let's be real for a second. Your notes are probably in one app. Your to-do list is in another. You've got documents floating around in the cloud, and who knows where your bookmarks are. It's just digital chaos, right? It's almost impossible to keep track of everything.
But what if you could bring all of that together? Not just to dump files, but to actually connect them. Imagine your notes, your tasks, your projects, all of your knowledge, all living together in one clean, powerful space that you design yourself. That, right there, is the big promise of Notion.
Okay, let's get into the good stuff. Because to really get why Notion is such a game changer, you only have to understand one simple but seriously powerful idea: the block.
I want you to think of blocks as digital Legos. Seriously, they are the absolute fundamental building block of any page you make. Every single thing you see on a Notion page, from a tiny line of text to a massive database, is a block.
And this is where their flexibility just shines. A block can start as a simple sentence. Then, boom, with a quick command, it's a checklist item. You can drag them, drop them, organize them into columns. It lets you structure your page exactly the way you think, pretty much as fast as you can think it.
Now, things get really interesting when these blocks start to evolve. When you take your pages, which, remember, are just collections of blocks, and you group them together, you get what Notion calls a database. And these are basically tables with superpowers.
I know database can sound a little intimidating, but it's actually super straightforward. It's just a collection of pages, all organized in a nice table. But here's the kicker. Every single row isn't just a line of text, it's its own full-blown Notion page that you can click into and fill with endless research, thoughts, and, you guessed it, more blocks.
Check out this simple reading list. At first glance, it looks just like a normal spreadsheet, right? But here's the magic. Each column, like status or genre, is a special thing called a property. And these properties give each book, each page, rich context and data. It turns a simple list into a really powerful knowledge base.
And you can add all kinds of properties to track pretty much anything. You can add dates for deadlines, you can tag people for assignments, you can add checkboxes to track your progress, or even link directly to files. You're not just making a list, you're building this rich, interconnected web of your own information.
So here's the really crucial point. Once you have all your information organized in one of these databases, Notion lets you look at that exact same data in completely different ways. And this is where you start to see connections you never saw before.
Okay, so here's our reading list again, just as a standard table. It's clean, it's organized, it's easy to read. But what if you're more of a visual person? What if you want to see your progress at a glance? Well, with just one click, that same list turns into this, a Kanban board, all neatly grouped by its status. Now you can literally drag and drop your books from the wishlist column over to reading and finally to complete. It's the exact same information, just organized for action.
But it doesn't stop there. What if you want to see your reading schedule over time? Well, if you just add a date property to your books, you can instantly flip to a calendar view. Now you're not just looking at a list of titles, you're seeing your goals actually plotted out visually over the whole month. And this is the most important thing to remember. It's not 3 different lists. It is one single database, one source of truth that you're just looking at through different lenses. This is Notion's real superpower, the ability to see new patterns in your own knowledge just by changing your perspective.
So because of this incredible flexibility, with the blocks, the databases, and the views, Notion really isn't just a note-taking app. It's more like a toolkit that lets you build your own custom mini-apps, your own personal tools for basically anything you can think of.
A lot of longtime users find that it completely transforms their entire workflow. It doesn't just replace a bunch of other tools for convenience, it replaces them because you end up with a single, deeply integrated system that you built to think the way that you do.
People use this toolkit to build everything imaginable. I mean, from these super complex project managers that run entire companies, to personal CRMs for keeping track of your contacts, all the way down to a simple recipe tracker for your kitchen. And each one is the perfect tool for the job because it was built by the person doing it.
So really, the only question left is, if you had a set of digital Legos this powerful, what part of your second brain, what tool for your life are you going to build first? That's it for this explainer on Notion.